Peace and love, beautiful souls. I'm coming to you today on a topic that was given to me by someone asking me questions about the things that I eat as alternative meats, foods, things like that, as being quote unquote vegan. One, I want to clarify I'm not vegan. I don't wear a label. However, I eat veganish, right? So we're just going to start there. And with that being said, I'm going to address some things about the things I don't eat or incorporate into my diet and why I don't. So, a vegan or a plant-based lifestyle can be a great choice, but like with any lifestyle, there are things you should be aware of, things that may not be the best option for everyone. Now, I'm just voicing my opinion here. So, what works for me might not work for you. And that's okay. People get all bent out of shape because you say what you got to say, your opinion. I'm just sharing my perspective. That's all. At the end of the day, I expect you to form your own opinion as well. So, let me ask you this. You ever see something labeled vegan or plant based and think, oh, that must be healthy? Yeah, I used to think that too. But let's talk about that because just slapping the word vegan on a package doesn't mean it is actually good for you. In fact, a lot of these so called healthy meat replacements and dairy free products and alternatives and all, man, let me tell you something. They ain't nothing but ultra processed junk in disguise, basically. And don't even get me started on tofu and soy based products. But I'll explain why I don't touch these either. So let's just get into it. So you may ask, why don't I eat products or meat replacements? And you ever look at something and just know it's not for you? Like, that's exactly how I feel about that. I felt like that was not for me. All these vegan products and meat replacements, they just weren't for me. You know, the Beyond Meats, the Impossible Burgers, vegan mayo, vegan cheese, egg replacements, all that stuff, all of it. I just felt like it just wasn't something that I wanted to mess around with. Now, don't get me wrong, I love eating plant based whole foods, but mm-mm, this is just another version of ultra processed food wrapped up in a healthy label. And then I always ask, I've been saying for the longest, what's even in this stuff? So I decided to take a look. So have you ever flipped over the package of these vegan meats and dairy alternatives and actually read the ingredients? Let me tell you, some of those words are straight up science experiments. I can't even pronounce them. You're going to hear me trying to pronounce them and they're going to sound crazy. If you can't pronounce half of the stuff in the food, that's a red flag right there. Let's talk about Beyond Meat first and Impossible Burgers. So these things they're made up with uh, pea protein, isolate, canola oil, methylcellulose. I think I said that right. Yeast extract. Sounds confusing to me, but at the end of the day, it's just processed sludge being molded into something that looks like meat. And we eating it. You see what I'm saying? Vegan cheese. Most of them are just starches, oils, and gums. No real nutritional value at all, just melted plastic vibes, melted together. Then you got the egg replacements. Ever saw potassium bitrate or gelling gum? I haven't, but I seen it on the label. And you probably seen it on the label too. Didn't know what you was reading. That's what's holding them fake eggs together. Then you got the vegan mayo. Instead of eggs being in the mayo, they just throw in a whole bunch of oils and stabilizers and emulsifiers just to make it look like and feel like mayo. Like, Isn't this the same stuff as the processed food that everyone says is bad for you? Just with a different marketing spin. Think about that. Let's talk about tofu though and soy. I told you I was going to get into that. So tofu and soy is a lot of people assume that since I eat plant-based that I must eat tofu. But nah. I don't mess with it. Or any soy-based product really. And I'm going to tell you why. The estrogen effect. Soy contains phytoestrogens, which mimic estrogen in the body. Some studies, it says it finds and throws off hormone balance, especially in men and women dealing with hormonal issues. Do we really know the long-term effects of that or what that even do? Not really, because I know I don't. There's GMO concerns. And majority of soy grown today is genetically modified and sprayed with pesticides like glyphosate. If you're not eating organic soy, you're likely getting a dose of chemicals along with it. And then let's talk about organic. Well, no, let's not talk about that today. We'll talk about that on another video. Highly processed, even tofu, when it starts, it's a bean. It goes through a lot of processing to turn into that firm sponge-like block that you see. Then you got soy protein isolate, soy lectins, and soy oils. These show up in so many packaged foods. And we don't even know we're eating it. And at this point, is it even real food anymore? Or is it products like I'm saying it's called? Allergy and sensitivity issues. A lot of people don't even realize that they have soy sensitivity until they stop eating the soy. They cut it out their diet and then they realize they had a sensitivity to it because it can cause bloating and digestive issues and even mess with your thyroid function. And so when I found that out, I was like, that's why I don't mess with it because I got that thyroid thing going on. But at the end of the day, I just don't trust it. Too much conflicting research for me. You know what I'm saying? Too much processing, too many unknowns. That's just not for me. I don't mess around. I don't mess around. It's a trend, not a solution. They're doing it as a trend. Being plant-based is great, but these products, these are just companies cashing in on a trend. The demand for vegan and plant-based has skyrocketed. People out here just creating things. They don't even care what's in it. They just creating it and calling it food. Manufacturers are going to hop on that train every time to mass produce whatever sells and believe. But has anyone actually researched the long-term effects of these lab-made foods? Nope, they haven't. We're all just test dummies. We're eating it and they're checking out what happens. But let's be real. If you swap a McDonald's burger for a Beyond Meat burger, but both are packaged or packed with industrial oils and chemicals and additives, is that really healthier? Ask yourself that. But I'm going to tell you what I do instead of telling you what happens, right? Instead, for me, when I'm eating plant-based, I want the real food, stuff that comes from the ground. I'd rather make my own sauces, cheeses, and even meat replacements using whole ingredients, like mushrooms. The ultimate meaty texture. You slice them, season them, and better than any store-bought vegan meat. Jackfruit is another one, right? Perfect for shredded pork, if that's what you want to call it. I call it pulled jackfruit. It's a vibe. Cauliflower, you can turn it into wings, rice, steaks. Super versatile. Chickpeas and lentils. You can make burgers, falafels, even creamy sauces with these. Tuna, heart of palms, and artichoke hearts, perfect for seafood replacements or substitutes. These are things that I use when I'm doing that. So I use it for like crab cakes or fish, eat nuts and seeds, cashews for cheese, sunflower seeds for pate. Real nutritious and actually good for you. And it's real food. I'm over here making my own dressings, my own spreads, my own meat. And guess what? It's delicious. It's nourishing. And I know what's exactly in it because I made it. That's the difference. You know what I mean? It ain't got all those chemicals in it. So you can actually call it food instead of products. And honestly, once you start making your own, you will never look back. I guarantee you. I thought I needed the easy way out, but I didn't. The easy way out is the healthy way out. So the next time you're out here and you're in the grocery stores and you're looking at this options for something that says plant-based because you want to make healthier choices, take a second look at it and say, how healthy is this? It might take you just a little bit longer to prepare these things than to get the ultra processed version of vegan plant-based foods from the store. But that little bit of time that you put into you may be all the difference in the world. It's the best thing ever. You never think about it again. I know the convenience is great when you can go to the store and grab certain things that you need, but you have to be cautious. You have to be aware of what you're putting in your body. And if you're making that your regular habit, choosing these types of foods, soy, tofu, impossible burgers, if you make it, that's your regular regimen of creating what you make as a vegan meal, for me, you might as well be eating the meat. Because at least, I guess, it's meat. But at least you know it's meat. When it comes down to dairy, you might as well use the regular butter, the regular mayo, because at least you can see that it came from the actual egg. You know, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that these vegan products that they're creating are just as bad as the ultra processed foods that they have on the shelf already? Or do you think it's a better choice? You know, is it the lesser of two evils? Let me know what you think down in the comments. But y'all know what to do. If you got any value out of this video today, I would love for you to subscribe, like, and comment, and watch this video right here. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace and love.